Friday prayers in Srinagar, the capital of the only Indian state where Muslims are in the majority. The chief priest is leading the thousands of worshippers in chants of Azadi, freedom, the rallying cry for those who want Kashmir to secede from India. Also addressing the crowd, a leader of a local Mujahideen, one of the Kashmiri militant groups which has taken up arms against Indian security forces. No wonder that, prayers over, there's an ugly mood of confrontation. It's just after Friday prayers at Srinagar's main mosque. In front of me is a shouting, baying crowd of around about 300 young Kashmiris, one brandishing a black flag. And just 10 feet away are armed police and soldiers with rifles at the ready. It's a bit of a ritual standoff, but the tension is unmistakable. In Srinagar at least, it's difficult to find a Kashmiri reconciled to continuing Indian rule. There's long been unhappiness at the way Kashmir became part of India at independence in 1947, a feeling that Kashmiris were cheated. Over the last 4 years, the sense of grievance has given way to armed guerrilla attacks on Indian forces. Yasmin Naqshbandi, a lecturer in Srinagar, says the disenchantment with Indian rule runs deep.
Very, very deep. Very deep. Everyone, including from the top brass down to the local plumber, mason, everybody is with this. The 1% or 2% following that India had in Kashmir is lost forever. Too much has happened. They've killed too many, they have plundered too much, they have raped too many. Kashmiris have no future with India whatsoever.
According to international human rights organizations, Indian troops commonly carry out torture, and there have been a considerable number of killings in custody. The Kashmiri militants too have resorted to killings of alleged informers, kidnappings and extortion. They've closed down all Srinagar's cinemas, bars and beer stores. But it's the insensitivity of Indian security policy in Kashmir which has inflamed local passions. Quite by chance, I came across an elderly Kashmiri woman who, seeing my tape recorder, wanted the world to hear her troubles.
She's saying that he's having one son, he was going to attend his job, he's a TV mechanic. While going to his workshop, he was picking up the security force and his army people. They tortured him. She doesn't know where she is. She wants to meet her son, but unfortunately she doesn't know where he is. He says that whatever they are giving the impression to the world that in cross-firing we kill 2-3 militants, but that is fictitious. Actually, they come in houses and they kill us, they beat us. They don't have the behavior how to talk to women folk.
The Indian authorities have tried to find a way of rooting out the armed militants without further alienating ordinary Kashmiris. The Minister for Internal Security, Rajesh Pilot, is adamant that the old abuses by Indian forces must end.
Whenever I went to Kashmir, everybody said that he has been killed, there's a custodial death. I have very strictly said and given orders in writing, no custodial death will be accepted by the government. And I'm happy that whatever complaints I was getting, I see an improvement in that functioning now.
And that determination to instill more discipline in the tens of thousands of police, paramilitary troops and regular soldiers deployed in Kashmir is shared by the head of police, B.S. Bedi.
We have to maintain our pressure against the militants. Our fight is against the militants, and our endeavor is that we should ensure that we win the heart and mind of the people. By ensuring that our excesses on the part of the paramilitary forces is not there, indefensible acts are avoided, and if those people who are marginally involved are age factor, are on health ground, or on life circumstances, they are released.
But the breakdown in trust between Indian forces and local Kashmiri Muslims will not be easily mended. And Kashmiris insist there's no sign at all of a softer security policy. There are regular identity parades in the streets of Srinagar. Bus passengers are hauled out and made to walk in single file in front of an army vehicle. Inside, hooded, is a security force informer. The routine searches which are part of any counterinsurgency operation arouse intense fear. I called on a Kashmiri houseboat owner whose home and boats had been searched by Indian paramilitaries the previous night.
They have stolen from my bedroom. I had my wife's bangles, 4 golden bangles. They have taken that from there. And also I had a tape recorder in a houseboat. They have taken that. And I had some tools. They have taken from that also from here. And other small things, I don't know what they have taken from here.
How much damage have they done?
They have broken the doors and windows. That I will show you, sir.
Have you been involved or your family been involved with the militants?
No,
anyway?
sir. No, sir. They know, sir. The army is here, sir. They know each and everyone here, sir. So we are not involved with anything, sir. We are business people, houseboat people, and downstairs we have a tracking office, and they have also damaged some tracking things here, sir. And we had one person who was going for tracking, cook. He was sleeping here, and they have beaten him, and they have taken the money from him, and then they start the fire here.
The Indian security forces are seen by many Kashmiris as an army of occupation. The soldiers themselves have to bear the strain of operating in a hostile environment against an almost invisible enemy. Hence an attitude that any young Kashmiri might well be a militant. It's a war, as P.C. Dogra, head of the Border Security Force in Kashmir, admits.
This low-intensity and proxy war was started by our friends across Pakistan. We have been having very good successes, killing of top-notch militants, foreign nationals, these foreign Jamaat-e-Islami inspired nationals who are here, some of them, Afghans and others also. There is no doubt that we are having an upper hand, and I have no doubt in my mind that situation will clear up very soon.
Certainly the Indian authorities have got Srinagar under control, but only by a massive security force presence. There's little to suggest that the conflict is dying down. And one problem for Delhi is that conventional political parties have all but disappeared in Kashmir. There's no one to negotiate with, no real hope of a halfway house. Kashmir is the gravest potential flashpoint in South Asia. It is in effect partitioned between India and Pakistan. In the past half-century, they've fought 3 wars over this area. The Pakistanis say the Indians are denying Kashmir the right of self-determination and committing human rights abuses. The Indians insist Pakistan is fanning the flames by training and arming Kashmiri secessionists. India's Minister for Internal Security, Rajesh Pilot, says he's complained about this directly to Pakistan's High Commissioner in Delhi.
I told him, Mr. Riyad, these are the camps being operated in your country where my boys are being trained. I am giving the location. I am giving the ways from the people are bringing the arms. I am giving the affidavits of the people who are saying on the sir, we have been trained in Pakistan by so-and-so, serving army officers. You are trying to disturb my country. If Pakistan doesn't interfere, there won't be any problem in Kashmir.
There's no doubt that Pakistan sees the Kashmir issue as a means of destabilising its regional rival. And no doubt also that the continuing conflict is mainly a reflection of the grievances of Kashmiris themselves. But the Kashmiri secessionist movement is splintered. Some are Islamic fundamentalists, others are more secular-minded. Some want union with Pakistan, others insist on independence. Professor Abdul Ghani has spent 2 years in an Indian jail. He's a leader of the pro-Pakistan Muslim Conference and is dismissive about the possibility of Kashmir going it alone.
What is important is that we are the final arbiters of our fate, and we should decide whether we join India or join Pakistan. As far as the independent idea, as far as I am concerned and as far as our party is concerned, we say that the dispute has a historical perspective, and with reference to the historical perspective, it is only the 2 options, India or Pakistan, no third option.
But that third option of independence does seem to attract considerable support. The political geography of Indian-administered Kashmir is complicated. The Kashmir Valley, the stronghold of the militants, is overwhelmingly Muslim. The Jammu region has a Hindu majority, while the sparsely populated Ladakh area is Buddhist and has little in common with the rest of Kashmir. But on the streets of Srinagar, the main town of the Kashmir Valley, most people were quite clear what they wanted.
Independence, total independence, absolute independence. We don't want to remain with India or Pakistan. Sovereignty.
We support it. Yes. That we want to become free.
Independent or
Independent.
not part of Pakistan?
Not Pakistan. Not Pakistan. Why Pakistan? We are an independent. We are free.
Is there any particular party or group that you support?
Yes, JKLF.
The JKLF stand on Kashmir is that we want a complete independence, but we don't want to thrust our ideology over the people, and it is the people who have to decide whether they would like to accede to Pakistan or the complete independence of Jammu and Kashmir.
The Jammu Kashmir Liberation Front is the oldest and probably best supported of the militant groups. Its chief spokesman, Hyder Ali, has been forced underground. I met him in the precincts of a mosque. Unlike other militant groups, the JKLF is not supplied by Pakistan. Indeed, it's in danger of being outgunned by more hardline organisations which receive support from Islamabad. Dr. Ali admitted that was a problem, but would not openly criticise Pakistan.
We are not getting the military support from Pakistan, but diplomatically, politically, and they have raised the Kashmir issue in every international forum. They have raised this human rights issue in every corner of the world.
But the world isn't taking much notice. Kashmir is still widely seen as a squabble between regional powers rather than a fight for self-determination. The United Nations has had military observers in Kashmir for 44 years. It's the smallest and arguably the least effective of all UN observer missions. Its head, a Uruguayan, General Ricardo Garlatza, has looked on impotently as the conflict has escalated. I asked him if he had any optimism at all about the prospect of a settlement.
No, to be quite honest, I don't. Although the political situation here in Srinagar and the alleged human rights violations are definitely not part in our mandate. This is not to say we are blind or deaf.
But you remain pessimistic?
Yes, I do, unfortunately. The Kashmir dispute has not a top place in the agenda of the international disputes. This is a fact, and I don't have to elaborate on that. What are the parameters for the international community to focus on a particular spot? The number of dead people? Where here they have scores of them.
Kashmiris, it seems, are destined to mourn many more dead.